Yeah. So good morning to everyone. I'm Dr. Uma from Pondi, and today I'm very happy to share this morning and this short topic about eczema with you people. And now moving on to the session. First of all, I would like you to tell a few words about eczema. Eczema is the sense, it comes from the Greek word, literally to boil out. Eczema means to boil out. So, in our daily, day-to-day practice, all of us would have encountered at least once in a lifetime these kind of lesions in our skin, right? What are those type of lesions? Redness with severe itching, boils, oozing, scaling, and finally, it will end up with darkening and thickening. At least not all these pictures, at least few of these, all of us would have encountered, right? So, these are the common symptoms of eczema. So this eczema, whom does this affect a lot? It's not like only children, only adults, only elderly. It's not like that. It affects all the ages, and men are equally affected as women. Coming to the basic factors, how this eczema happens in our body. So it's not that it is a mixture of some internal and external factors. What is that internal factors? There is some kind of genetic determination. The existence of skin disease in general population is 10%. Among those, the existence of eczema is around 20%. So those 20% of people, they'll be having some kind of genetic information for which they are prone for eczema. Okay, so along with that genetically determined situation, if that person encounter any of the following environmental factors like pollen or the pet's dander, wool, the climatic changes, foods, infections, and chemicals. Along with that, stress. Stress is a very, very important factor for eczema also, as Dr. Arvind told. So both these combined together, they form some kind of immune reaction in our body, and in turn, we develop all these symptoms of eczema. So what are those triggers? Like in the picture, as you can see, food, pets, pollens, dust mites, detergents, the perfume we use, wool and other clothes, soaps, cleansers, etc. Now, I would like to present this slide in the beginning of my presentation itself because most of the people know in my OP, they used to ask, what are the foods to avoid, doctor? I'm an eczema patient. What are the things to eat? What not to eat? So, have a look at this. And I would suggest the audience to take a note of certain things like certain triggers which we are going to discuss so that at the end of the session, if you are an eczema patient, you yourself can make a note of your own triggers. There may be some 100 to 200 triggers in the world for eczema, but for you as an individual person, only certain things will trigger your eczema, not all the things which I'm going to tell. So by taking a note of all these things, it's like நீங்களே உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாம் ஓ இதெல்லாம் தான் எனக்கு வந்து eczema காஸ் பண்ணுது அப்படின்ற மாதிரி. So if that is helping you today in this session, we are done. So foods causing eczema is citrus fruits like your oranges, lemon like that, and dairy products, eggs, gluten or wheat, soy, and some this cloves and cinnamon things, tomatoes, and some types of nuts. Then what are the foods to take which are in favor of against eczema? The best thing is fish and anti-inflammatory foods like apple, broccoli, spinach, and your probiotics. Curd is an excellent probiotic which you can take in our day-to-day life. So here is a picture of eczema. So you can have any of these. The first one is the acute stage of eczema where you develop red patches called macules with followed by itching and small fluid fills boils, and finally all these boils will break out and they start oozing watery fluid. And this stage, oozing, is the peak of the eczema stage, and it will slowly start resolving. How? By formation of scales. So after that scaling, as days pass by, after 2 weeks or so, you will have darkening and thickening of your skin like this in the second picture with increased skin markings. This stage we called as chronic eczema. So all of us, not all of us, at least majority of us would have experienced these kind of lesions in our life at least once, isn't it? So coming to the few eczemas, few common eczemas I'll be discussing with you people today. Not all, because eczema, the discussion of eczema is like sea, and I can give only a glimpse of it, that too for our general awareness. So coming to first type of eczema, that is atopic dermatitis. Both dermatitis and eczema means the same meaning. Okay. So this is the most common form of eczema. It usually starts in childhood. How? In a child, we all have encountered the term called nappy dermatitis, isn't it? For all those children who are using diapers day and night, finally they have some kind of itching and redness, and the child keeps on crying. You go to the doctor, apply some cream, he'll ask us to get rid of the nappy, everything. So it is nothing but a kind of atopic dermatitis which the child develops for diapers. So this atopic dermatitis is nothing but it is a triad of what we say. We doctors say atopic triad. When you're a child, you'll have this kind of atopic dermatitis. When you grow up in your adolescent stage, you will develop asthma, and then in your adults and further down, you will have allergic rhinitis. Like you keep on having running nose like that. So this is a kind of a triangle-like thing. It happens once you develop atopic dermatitis. All these things will also develop as you grow on. So many people with atopic dermatitis have all these three conditions, which we call the atopic triad. So if a child at your home develops atopic dermatitis, all you need to know is she or he may also develop asthma in his or her childhood. She or he may also develop allergic rhinitis or allergic sinusitis when he becomes an adult. So you should keep that in mind. So coming to the what happens actually in this atopic dermatitis, all our skin has a physiological barrier. Barrier means a gate-like thing which checks what to come in and what to go out, right? So this barrier prevents the transepidermal water loss. Yes, of course, water loss should happen from our body in the form of sweat, but not too much, isn't it? So if it is happening too much, what will happen? Dryness will come. This dryness is the one and only sole cause for eczema to begin with. So that is why doctors will keep on trying you avoid dryness like that. So when this natural barrier, what I told, that fence-like thing, no, which is made up of some fat and proteins like that, when this is spoiled or if it happens a breach in this barrier, then what happens? The water from inside the body goes out, and also some microorganisms, some bacteria or some infection causing organisms will come inside. So all these interact together and they cause eczema like lesions in our skin. So this happens in a genetically predetermined person and whose skin barrier is broken and who is exposed to allergen. All these three should go hand in hand for an eczema to present in a person. So you yourself can have a look. Okay, whether I'm genetically determined or not, whether I'm exposed to all these allergens, and whether my skin is dry or not. Okay. Now coming to the distribution, in children, atopic dermatitis usually presents in the face. You can see, as you can see here, cheeks are the main place. Then the back of the elbow and in front of the knees. These are the most common sites in children, and in adults, the ulta of that. Most in the neck area and back of the knee and in the front part of your hands. Okay. So this is a picture of atopic dermatitis in a child. You can see cheeks are predominantly affected. So the main areas are, as I told you, knees, neck area, under eyes area. Under eyes area is very, very important. You keep on scratching it and you will develop a very, very ugly look, no, when you scratch your under eye area. Next, what happens when you keep on scratching a place? Naturally, the skin becomes first lighter, then darker, and finally thicker. And now it is very, very difficult for us to bring it back to the normal state. And small bumps with fluid-filled lesions also appear here. Babies, when get affected, their scalp region will also get affected. And One thing I want to stress here is nipple eczema. This is especially for women. Atopic dermatitis, it can present anywhere in the body, and if it is occurring in the our breast area, nipple areola region, what happens? No, the same kind of boils with oozing of fluid occurs, and which most of them will think this is something else, not eczema. Something else means or cancer இருக்குமோ இல்ல என்ன ஆகுது இந்த மாதிரி. So அந்த மாதிரி panic, no one can have that kind of panic. So you should also keep in mind eczema can also occur in your nipple areola region, especially in women. So coming to the next dermatitis, this is very, very important for all of you. You just make a note of it. Whenever you are coming in contact with all these things, definitely there is a chance for you to have eczema if you are genetically prone. So whenever you come in contact of all these things, your skin will either irritate or it will cause an allergic reaction to you. So what are those things? Detergents, which we use in our day-to-day life, isn't it? Especially the housewives, all those things. Bleaches, jewelry. Jewelry may be a watch, maybe a earring, whatever it is. Latex. This latex is present mostly in our footwear. நிறைய பேருக்கு அந்த ஷூஸ் அலர்ஜி இருக்கும், செப்பல் அலர்ஜி. For all those things, this latex is the main thing. Then nickel. Nickel is also present in your watch, paints. Then skincare products, including makeup, what Dr. Arvind told, right? Soaps and perfumes, solvents, hair dyes, etc. Hair dye is a very, very important thing which I want to stress. I know most of you are using hair dyes. We can't tell, don't use and all. But I would suggest once if you are prone to any kind of allergy for any kind of hair dye, please stop using the hair dyes in the rest of your life. That's all. So, doctor, whether I can use this, they are claiming this is a very, very herbal hair dye, whether I can use nothing herbal except that henna which you pluck from your garden. மருதாணி செடி இருக்கு இல்லைங்களா, அதை தவிர உலகத்துல கெமிக்கல் இல்லாத ஹேர் டை அது எதுவுமே கிடையாது. So take it from me, a big no for hair dye if you develop allergy even once in your life. டாக்டர் நான் 10 வருஷமா ஹேர் டை யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன், எனக்கு அப்பெல்லாம் அலர்ஜி வரல, இப்பதான் வந்திருக்கு. எஸ் அஃப்கோர்ஸ் 11வது வருஷம் அலர்ஜி வரலாம். ஸோ கீப் இட் இன் மைண்ட், ஹேர் டை இஸ் அ பிக் நோ இஃப் யூ ஆர் கெட்டிங் அலர்ஜிஸ், because sometimes it may be even life threatening, this hair dye allergy, which our general public does not give importance at all. So these are certain pictures, like a person working in cement for a long time will develop these kind of lesions like allergy contact dermatitis. This is watch allergy, and this is for footwear. Coming to the next type of eczema, dyshydrotic eczema. This is nothing but, this occurs in most commonly in housewives with always damp hands and feet and exposure to certain chemicals also. You can see the picture, small fluid-filled blisters are there, right? It happens both in hands and in your feet. This is more common in women, as I told, than men. This is one common eczema, hand eczema. This is mostly job related for those who are doing this cleaning, hairdressers, especially healthcare professionals, laundry or dry cleaners. For all those people, this kind of eczema they will encounter. One thing I would like to stress in this COVID pandemic era, we all are using hand sanitizer right and left, right? So for those people who are prone for eczema, definitely they will develop a kind of irritant contact dermatitis called hand eczema to sanitizers, because all these sanitizers are alcohol based. So any alcohol based solvent will cause irritation to our skin. So what should I do? Should I not use all those things? No. Definitely we have to use the sanitizer for this COVID thing. But after using the sanitizer or after washing your hands with soap, what you people with eczema can do is just use a pinch of moisturizer over your hand immediately after washing your hands. So that will seal the moisture within your hands and prevent you from getting eczema in future. Okay. These are other kind of eczema. One type, the reason ennane theriyadu. Everything will be normal, but still your skin will be itchy. Some kind of lesions will occur your skin. The main reason is stress. As Dr. Arvind told, stress is very, very important factor. Stress and skin are interrelated a lot. Okay. Another type of eczema where you can get such type of coin-shaped lesion is nummular eczema. This condition is very, very itchy. The patient keeps on scratching. This occurs in patients who already have certain types of skin diseases like atopic dermatitis, etc. Also triggered by some insect bite, some allergic reaction to metals like watches, like that. And dry skin also causes eczema, as we already see. This is another common type of eczema where our elders in our home would have experienced, or this type of eczema is even common in this traffic police. For all those people who are prolongedly standing, they are standing for long hours, like teachers. This is yet more common in teachers. I would like to emphasize here, since a lot of teachers are there in the meeting. Prolonged standing causes the pumping of blood from the leg to heart, and the mechanism that will be obstructed during prolonged standing. And what will happen? Some kind of fluid leakage will happen from the blood vessels, and this fluid leakage will cause this type of eczema called stasis eczema. So what to do for this? Just try to reduce your standing hours. If not at all possible, while sleeping, you just have a pillow for your foot, which is higher than your head level. That is one simple method. So what are the symptoms? You get swollen, heavy, painful legs with varicose vein, and the overlying skin becomes dry, itchy with open sores. So I think I've given a glimpse of eczema. So what all you as a patient can do? Your history gives a relief not only from eczema, from any kind of skin issue. You are your own doctor for your skin issues. You have to give the proper history. By giving a proper history itself, you will help doctor to make a proper and correct diagnosis. Correct. So just make a note of all these things. What you eat and drink, where you live, the environment matters a lot. Where you live with lot of pollen causing, allergy causing plants, like that. So what skin products are you using? If possible, you take all those skin products in your bag and go to visit the doctor. The chemicals, soap, makeup items, and the detergents you use. What activities you do? Just even taking a walk outside with your pet, or even swimming in a chlorinated pool matters in case of eczema. So how long you spend in bath or shower, that really matters. Some people will go enter for a shower and they'll come out only after 15 to 20 minutes, which is totally unacceptable. An optimum shower time should be maximum of 6 to 8 minutes. Maximum, I'm telling. Minimum, it could be 2 to 3 minutes, not more than 8 minutes. Okay. So when you are under stress, what is your stress related activity? You should begin to notice connections between your activities and your eczema flare-ups. A doctor can do you n number of tests like blood tests, everything, etc. But it is only you who give the correct history and help the doctor to make your correct diagnosis. Okay. So eczema often comes and go. Definitely this is not curable like diabetes now. Once vanduchina, you are prone to eczema for your entire life. But definitely this can be controlled. Avoidance of trigger is the primary measure. இப்போ நான் சொன்ன அந்த triggers எல்லாம் note பண்ணிட்டு which is very very important for you. எதை நம்ம avoid பண்ணணும்ன்றது வந்து நீங்க தான் வந்து you should be aware of that. So apart from that, you have a lot of treatments like antihistamines or group drugs for your itching, creams, steroid creams are the bread and butter for the treatment of eczema. It will melt your lesion like anything. But please keep it in mind, overuse of steroid without doctor's advice is disastrous to your skin as well as to your life. Okay. Next is calcineurin inhibitors like tacrolimus and pimecrolimus, and certain antibiotics கொடுப்பாங்க. And finally light therapy. இதெல்லாம் வந்து higher range of therapies. But the simple thing is to avoidance of trigger using certain medications like steroids under doctor's guidance. And moisturizing. Moisturizing your skin is the basic mantra for eczema. Please keep it in your mind to avoid dryness. Okay. So here are certain few tips for you guys just to keep your skin happy in this monsoon season. So as I told, while taking a bath, please don't use hot water, especially those who are prone for eczema, or neither too hot, neither too cold. Just lukewarm water and solvona. Midamana sootla kulikkiradhu is always good for your skin. Okay. It applies both for hand washing also. So always use a pH balanced, non-scented soap. What do you mean by pH balance? Number skin or acid alkaline balance level which is around 4.5 to 5.4. Anywhere between that is good for any soaps. But unfortunately, most of the soaps which we are using in the markets are not within this range. Okay, they are far alkaline. So it's always better to consult a dermatologist and use the soaps according to your skin needs. So after you bath, generally blot your skin. This is the most of the people will make this mistake. They'll keep on rubbing their skin immediately after their bath. So what will happen? Definitely your skin dries like anything. So always blot your skin and never rub. And avoid scratching. Moisturization is the main mantra of this session. This is the main take-home message which I would like to give all the audience. Moisturize your skin daily with a rich oil-based cream or an ointment according to the dermatologist. Why? As I told you before, this forms a protective barrier agent against the trigger elements. Now apply the cream right after you get out of the shower. This is also very important. I think Dr. Arvind have also told about this. Not like you bath at 8 o'clock, then apply the cream at 8:30. Immediately you come out of the shower, you should apply so that half of the moisture, when it is still in your body, you should apply these creams so that it locks the remaining moisture within your skin itself. And sunscreens, yes, it's a big yes, even in monsoon. இப்பதான் வெயிலே இல்லையே, why should I use my sunscreen? கிடையவே கிடையாது. Definitely this is a big yes to provide you from UV rays, to protect you from UV rays. In fact, summerல இருக்கிறதோட we are much closer to the sun only in the winter months. Okay, so this is the optimum time where you should use sunscreens. So sunscreens, even a big yes in monsoon. Always try to wear a cotton lined clothes and try to avoid wool as much as possible, because wool is also a trigger for eczema and other atopic dermatitis. Please don't use air fresheners, perfumes, or scented candles. Use fragrance-free detergents, cleansers, makeups. All these things you can consult with your dermatologist in person, because every skin is unique. We can't tell it as a common. In the product use pannunga, you have to go. The dermatologist should study your skin in person, and then only he or she can prescribe what is opted for you, what is optimum for you. Okay. So if you are allergic to pollen, pet dander, dust mites, and moles, try to avoid them, especially in this monsoon season. So at home, you have to dust and vacuum regularly and wash your beddings weekly in hot water. If possible, please get rid of heavy drapes and carpets in your home, especially for those who are prone for this kind of atopic dermatitis. So also please keep in your mind, apart from eczema, fungal infections will also be flared up in monsoon. Fungal infections உங்களுக்கே தெரியும் இல்லைங்களா, இந்த ரெண்டு காலுக்கு நடுவுல பாத்தீங்கன்னா you'll be having some whitish patch which is also itchy. So you should also be aware of those kind of lesions. And most important of all these things, as Dr. Arvind told, please de-stress yourself. That is the main thing which you have to do for any type of diseases, not only for skin diseases. Okay, so yeah, I think I have done with my presentation. Hope I have helped you a bit in knowing what is eczema and what are the things you have to do to avoid, and what are the things you should do to prevent your skin from drying. Okay, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Uma. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Arvind.
Thank you.